Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. Okay, students. I am also fine. Okay, we let us learn this location of errors, rectification of errors. First, we should locate the errors, isn't it? So we will study how errors can be made in the books of accounts. We have studied in different ways, isn't it? Four types of errors that can be made in the books of accounts we have learned. Now we should learn what are the errors will be disclosed in the trial balance and what are the errors that cannot be disclosed by the trial balance. We know we have prepared already the trial balance, isn't it? Trial balance has two columns, debit side, credit side, total amount column, isn't it? So debit side, uh, if any error that we make, instead of entering on the debit side we have enter on the credit side, it will not get tally, isn't it? If we get both the amount same amount, for example 10,000, 10,000, we can consider to some extent that we have not made any mistakes, okay, no errors. But if it gets tally, we can consider that we have not made any mistakes, okay. But if there is any difference, here we get 9,500, here we get 10,000, we can consider, we can think that we have made some mistakes. So we should test the total, first total we need to test, or all the balances, ledger account balances must be checked whether we have totaled and balanced correctly, okay. So until then this error will be kept as it is. We have to write a suspense account, okay, that 500, and we should make this 10,000 and this side 10,000, okay. So afterwards, after preparing this trial balance, what we have to do, we have to check. Until then this 500 will be in the account, suspense account, okay. So after this, after locating the error and after rectifying the error, we will prepare the rectifying journal entry. Only then we post this suspense account, it will get tally, okay. Until then it will be in the same account, suspense account. Now we will learn what all the errors will be disclosed by the trial balance, okay. That partial omission, error of partial omission can be disclosed, isn't it? Because one aspect will be entered and one may not be entered. Debit side will be entered, but the credit aspect, if it is not entered, it will be shown, isn't it? So partial omission. Then any if we have posted twice posting, instead of posting one time, if we have posted two time, it will be there. If it is debit, okay, 500. If we have posted twice, it will not get tally, isn't it? Or that subsidiary books, that means overcast or undercast, or undercast of subsidiary books. What is the overcast? What is the meaning? Over totaling, okay, or less totaling of subsidiary book. Instead of 500 we have written as 1000, it will not get tally, okay. Then at the time of posting, if we have posted the wrong amount to the correct side, okay, wrong amount is posted, already we have learned all these things, okay. Wrong amount is posted on the correct side of the account, it will not get tally, okay. That means it will show difference. Then wrong amount to the wrong side also will be shown, okay. Then we have learnt about the carrying forward. carrying forward of the total of the ledger account from one page to another. In one page we might have written 1050, another page 5010 we may write, isn't it? So carrying forward of one that total from one page to another will also be disclosed in the trial balance. Okay, almost all these entries will be, if all these errors are made, then we can find out the difference in the trial balance. Okay. Next we will see errors that are not disclosed. Not disclosed by the trial balance. Here, any that complete omission. Okay. Complete omission of a transaction. If a transaction is omitted, that means one debit and one credit is omitted fully. So if it is omitted, both the side will show less. We cannot find out. Okay, 5000 here less, 5000 there, it will be less. So it will get tally. So we cannot find out the difference in the trial balance. Okay, that complete omission. Then if we have entered in the wrong subsidiary book also. Wrong subsidiary book. From the transaction, if we have entered, instead of purchases, we have entered in the sales book, it will not be shown. Okay, we cannot rectify that trial balance will get tally. Okay, then the principle, error of principle, that means we have learned the capital nature will be, capital expenditure will be shown as revenue expenditure. Okay, so that one also cannot be disclosed. Capital expenditure into revenue expenditure, we cannot find out. Then if we enter in the subsidiary book itself twice, or the twice if we have prepared in the journal entry, if we have made two journal entries for the same transaction, or if we have made twice the entry in the subsidiary books, cannot be disclosed because it will be doubled. Okay, everywhere it is doubled, so we cannot make. Here it is not entered. If we make double entry also, it will not be shown in the trial balance. Now how to locate these errors? Okay, how to find out the errors? How can you make out? You know, the difference is there in the trial balance. We have to write the different amount as suspense account, isn't it? So how can we check? So we have to make a thorough check. Okay, from the journal entry, whether they have made any double journal entry. Or double journal entry, it will not be get tally. Okay, it will not affect the trial balance. Even then we should check. Then the subsidiary books must be totaled, whether it is totaled correctly. Then the each entry or from the subsidiary books we are posting in the ledger. So posting in the ledger whether we have made any mistakes, then whether all the transactions, all the journal entries have been posted, or any one aspect is omitted. Okay, then after checking whether they have posted, then we need to add the ledger accounts, whether the addition, whether they have made any mistakes. Otherwise the balancing the ledger accounts, okay, that they have to check. Then after balancing, the balances are also correct, then we need to check whether those balances have been written correctly in the trial balance. Okay, then we need to check the trial balance also, whether they have added correctly in the trial balance. Then if all these have been correct, if we done this one, then we can locate the error. Then they have to one, if they have made that we are going to locate the error after the preparation of the trial balance, then we can check from the last step. Okay, first we need to add the trial balance first. Add the trial balance once again, and we can locate the error. Okay, still difference is there, you check the difference amount, and we have to divide that amount by 2, and we will get one amount. That amount can be seen in the trial balance figures. Any amount is there wrongly entered on the other side, instead of writing on the debit side, they may write on the credit side. That we can check. Okay, so that can be checked first. Then if the difference amount is 100,000, then we need to check the total of the subsidiary book. Okay, or if the difference amount is divisible by 9, for example, 100 and that sometimes the amount, that instead of 450 we might have written as 540. Okay, then if we subtract this amount, and if it is divisible by 9, then we can conclude that error of commission. For example, this 450 may be written as 540. Okay, so first again we need to divide that difference amount of the trial balance by 9, and if it is divisible by 9, then we can conclude that error of commission has been made. Okay, then they have to check all the that they have to check the debtors account, creditors account, because all the debtors account, many debtors will be there, at the same time many creditors also will be there. That amount will be added and it will be written as sundry debtors account and sundry creditors account. So each and every debtor account must be checked carefully. Okay, debtors account, creditors account. Then the balance, then ledger account. Again, we have to check, we have to total, we have to balance whether it is done correctly. Okay. Then carried forward from one page to another, whether they have made any mistakes. Then still in the ledger account also they couldn't find any mistake, then they have to go back to the journal entries, whether that correctly they have made the journal entries, and whether they have posted from the journal entries to the ledger account. Then they could finally locate the errors. Okay, now we will see today the illustration. Okay, illustration 1, how they are locating the errors. The beginning they have given the simple errors only. Okay, the following errors were detected before the preparation of trial balance. If it is before the preparation of trial balance, then that suspense account will not appear. Okay, only after the preparation of the trial balance account, only suspense account is coming. We have to adjust the we have to rectify the error with the suspense account. Otherwise, we have to write a statement only what should be done with that error. Here you see sales book is undercast by 100. So here sales book total is 100, isn't it? Here you have to check, you should know this account, sales account. Okay, sales account shows which balance? We know credit balance, isn't it? Sales account shows credit balance. So credit is undercast means credit is less, isn't it? So in order to correct, what we have to do, sales account should be credited. Again we need to credited with rupees 100. That is the statement we should write. You see, sales account should be credited with rupees 100. This is the answer. Okay, this is the step you have to see. Okay, sales book shows which balance? credit balance. That is the first step. Then undercast means it is less total, isn't it? That is the second step. Then what should be done? If a credit is less, so to make it correct, we need to increase. So what we have to do? We have to credit. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, 3 steps. Then fourth one is the answer. We have to credit. Understood? First you have to see credit. Sales book shows credit balance. Sales book, credit balance. Then purchase book, debit balance. Purchase returns, credit. Sales returns, debit. Isn't it? Only these 4 things you should remember. Okay. Purchase and sales returns, debit. Okay. Sales and purchase returns, credit. Only these 2 things you should know. So here sales book shows credit balance and it is undercast, that means less total. So we need to increase the total. So again we need to credit. So you have to write the sentence as sales account, not book. Okay, sales account should be credited with rupees 100. You have to write a statement. That is the answer. Second one, sales book is overcast by 200. The same thing. Sales book shows which balance? Credit balance. And overcast means more. If credit is more, what we should do? We should debit. Opposite. Okay, opposite we have to do. So, sales account should be debited with rupees 200. You see, sales account should be debited with rupees 200. Okay, very easy only if you have understood. Then purchases book is undercast by 300. Same rule. Purchase book shows which balance? Debit balance. Debit balance undercast means less. So again we need to debit. Okay. So we need to debit. How will you write the answer? Purchases account should be debited. Okay, should be debited with rupees 300. Then purchases book is overcast by rupees 400. So here purchases debit over. So we need to do the opposite. We should credit. Okay, so purchases account should be credited with rupees 400. That the answer you have to write. Here they have given the explanation. Okay, that what I have explained to you, that is given in the note. Okay, no need to write the note. Only you have to write this much. Only one sentence you have to write. Okay, I think we can do the exercise. Listen. State the accounts affected in each of the following errors. Which accounts are affected? Here, goods purchased on credit from Saranya for rupees 150 was posted to the debit side of her account. Okay, so here goods purchased account or Saranya's account, which account is affected, they have asked. Okay, so here you should think, read goods purchased on credit. You should know the entry. Okay, here goods purchased on credit from Saranya for rupees 50. Okay, what is the entry? Purchases account debtor. Purchases debtor to Saranya. Isn't it? This is the entry, correct entry. But what was the mistake? Was posted to the debit side of her account. Her account means Saranya's account. When we post this one, where we will write, you see, Saranya's account. That for that explanation I am telling, okay, to make you understand. Saranya's account is credited, isn't it? So where we will post this one? By purchases account. isn't it? By purchases we will write the amount, but here what they have given, to the debit side of her account, isn't it? So here which account is affected? Saranya's account. So you have to write Saranya's account. Okay, you have to say the entry. Illustration, not illustration 1 we have seen, exercise 1a. Okay, you write the question and write the answer. Okay, because very simple one, only then no need to check the book. Easily you can find out the answer and the question answer in the same place. So here which account is affected? Saranya's account is affected. You have to write. Okay, that's all. Okay, then B, I will explain to you. The total of purchases book 4,500 was posted twice. So here which account is affected? The total of purchases book was posted twice. The total of purchases book means we will enter in the purchases account only, isn't it? So which account is affected? Purchases account. You check in the purchases book, subsidiary books, purchases book, we might have posted there in the purchases account. Okay, when you write, we will write everything in the purchases book. Down we will write total. Okay, purchases account debtor. Do you remember purchases account debtor? So we will debit. So here they have entered twice. So which account is affected? Purchases book. So purchases account we have to write. Okay, purchases account is affected. Purchases account is affected. Okay. Now we will see second one. This one, that illustration that we have seen. Okay, rectify the following errors discovered before the preparation of the trial balance. You see, sales book was undercast by 100. Purchases returns book was overcast by 200. So here the same thing you apply. Okay, sales book shows which balance? Credit balance. Undercast means less. So again we need to credit. So how will you write? Sales account should be credited with rupees 100. Okay, very easy if you have understood. Okay, how will you write? Sales account should be or must be anything. Okay, should be credited with rupees 100. Then next one, purchases returns book was overcast by 200. Purchases returns book shows credit balance, isn't it? Purchases debit, purchase returns credit. It is overcast by 200. So we should do the opposite. Okay, we should debit. So how will you write? Purchases returns account. This is A, this one B. Okay. Purchase returns account should be debited with rupees 200. Okay. Then third one, same model only. Okay. See, rectify the following errors assuming that the trial balance is yet to be prepared. Yet to be prepared means what? We need to prepare. So before the preparation of the trial balance. Okay, that you must be very careful. If it is after the preparation of the trial balance, that suspense account will appear. Okay, so when you do the problem, you must read this one very correctly. Yet to be prepared means not again we are going to prepare. So now it is not prepared. Now you have to do this one. This last year I have written. This method you have to follow. Okay, sales book was undercast by 400. Here sales book shows credit balance, isn't it? It is undercast less. So again we have to add, isn't it? We have to credit. What will you write? Sales account should be credited with rupees 400. Okay. Sales account should be credited with rupees 400. Okay. Then next one. Sales returns book was overcast by rupees 500. Sales return, sales credit, sales returns debit, isn't it? Overcast means more. So what the opposite we have to do? We need to credit. Okay. So how will you write? Sales returns account should be credited with rupees 500. Okay, B. Sales returns account should be credited with rupees 500. Okay. Then purchase book was undercast by rupees 600. So here purchase book shows debit balance undercast less. So again we need to debit. Okay. So purchases account should be debited with rupees 600. Okay, so you write full sentences. Okay, full sentence you should write. Then purchase returns book was overcast by rupees 700. Purchases return shows which balance? Credit, isn't it? Purchase debit means purchase returns credit. Overcast more, so credit is more, so we should debit, then it will get tally. Okay, so D, purchase returns book account. Okay, purchase returns account should be debited with rupees 700. Okay, then bills receivable book was undercast. Okay, bills receivable book shows which balance? There we have studied. Okay, bills receivable debit. Okay, it is undercast means less. Bills receivable debit, bills payable credit. Okay, so bills receivable book was undercast. So bills receivable book shows debit balance. It is undercast, that means less total. So we need to do again debit. Okay, so bills receivable book account, bills receivable account should be debited. Okay, debited with rupees 800. Okay, then again the same thing only is given in exercise 4 also. Okay, carrying forward we will see the illustration. Same thing only, it is very simple, but if you understand it will be very easy for you. Here illustration 2 also the same thing. Okay, here you see purchase returns book undercast by 500. Purchase returns book shows which balance? Purchase return credit. Okay, credit is less, so again we need to credit. So what is the answer? Purchase returns account should be credited with rupees 500. Here next, purchase returns book overcast by 600. Purchase returns book shows credit balance, overcast more. So what we should do? We should debit. That is the answer. Purchase returns book should be debited with rupees 600. Okay. Then again third one, sales returns book is undercast by 700. So sales return shows which balance? Debit balance. Undercast, again we need to debit, isn't it? Here you see sales returns account should be debited with rupees 700. See, again fourth one. Sales returns book is overcast by 800. Sales return debit, overcast more. So what we should do? We should credit. The answer, sales returns account should be credited with rupees 800. Okay. Now the next illustration, third one we will see. Errors in carry forward. Okay. Errors were detected before preparation of trial balance. Total of purchase book is carried forward to the next page 100 short. The same method only. Okay, by seeing the sentence you do not be afraid, but the same thing. Same rule you have to apply. Okay. Total of purchases book. Purchase book shows which balance? Debit balance. 100 short means less, isn't it? So we need to again debit. So how will you write? Purchases account should be debited with rupees 100. You see, purchases account should be debited with rupees 100. Same one only. Carrying forward. Carried forward. Do not worry about that word. Okay, that same undercast overcast method only we have to follow. The total of purchase returns book is carried forward to the next page 200 excess. Okay, excess means more. So purchase returns book shows which balance? Purchase returns credit. Carried forward to the next page 200 excess. Excess means more. Credit is more. So what should we do? We should debit. Okay. So how will you write? Purchases returns account should be debited with rupees 200. That is the answer. Okay. Then you see question number C. The total of sales book is carried forward to the next page 300 excess. Excess means more. Okay, short means less. That's all. That undercast, lower, overcast. Undercast means short, overcast means excess. Okay. The sales book shows which balance? Credit balance. And excess, that means more. Credit is more. What should be done? Debited. So sales account should be debited with rupees 300. Okay. Then sales returns book. Sales returns book shows debit balance and short. So again we need to debit. Sales returns account should be debited with rupees 400. Okay. Shall we do that exercise? Exercise 4. 4 shall we do? Let's see. Rectify the following errors before preparing the trial balance. Total of purchase book was carried forward 90 less. The same. Only if you say this the treatment of the error, locating the error, you can find out correctly. Okay. In many time, in each and every that question I have explained. Okay, that if you have applied, you can find out easily. Total of purchases book was carried forward 90 less. Purchase book shows which balance? Debit balance. Less. So we need to, again we need to debit. So how will you write the answer? How will you write the answer? Number 4A. Okay. Purchases book was carried forward less. So purchases account should be debited with rupees 90. Okay, then B. Total of purchases book was carried forward 180 more. Purchases shows debit balance 180 more. So we need to do the opposite. We need to credit purchases account. So the purchases account should be credited with rupees 180. Okay. Then total of sales book was carried forward 270 less. So sales account shows credit balance less. So again we need to credit. Okay, we need to credit. So sales account should be credited with rupees 270. Understood? Then sales returns book was carried forward 360 more. Sales return shows which balance? Sales credit, sales returns debit. Okay, more. So debit more, we need to credit. Okay, to in order to cancel that debit, we have to credit. Understood? Any doubt you can ask me. Okay, students, you can call me in the phone number and clear your doubts. Okay, I might have given my phone number. Once again, I will tell you 948. I will write here. Okay, 94877911185. Okay, I am writing my phone number. So, if you have any doubt, you ask me. Okay, students. Now you listen. We should write the answer. Okay, D. Which account? Sales returns account. Returns account should be credited with rupees 360. Okay. Next, total of purchase returns book carried forward 450 less. Purchase return shows credit balance less. Again, we need to credit. Okay. So, purchase returns account should be credited with rupees 450. Okay, this much will do, I think. Okay, we will see the remaining in tomorrow's class. Thank you, students.